Apparently, I had to disappear to appear again. My name is Soulo. I'm Chief Marketing Officer at Ahrefs, not the founder. Some people think I'm the founder. I'm not. I joined the company 10 years ago, back in 2015. There were just 15 people in the company total. I was the only marketer. I quickly snatched the title of CMO so that no one else could get it later. 10 years later, I'm still CMO at Ahrefs, had zero career progress. But yeah, it's not about me. We're talking about where marketing is headed and how Ahrefs is going to help you navigate it. But first, I want to share a little bit of backstory of how Ahrefs came to be, because I actually think it's quite funny. So this is our CEO and founder, Dmitro. And back in 2010, he was working on some programmatic SEO projects before programmatic SEO was a buzzword in our industry. And back in the days, those file-sharing sites like Mediafire, ZippyShare, MegaUpload, they were quite popular. They were generating a lot of traffic. And Dmitry had this idea, let me do kind of file hosting and search for PDF files. But for that, he needed an index of all PDF files that existed on the internet. Where do you get it? There was a company, there still is a company called Majestic, that have an index of the web. So Dmitry went to them. He said, how much is your API? They gave him a quote. He was surprised. And being Dmitry in Ukraine, being like super talented and super smart engineer, he thought, this is how much people are paying to get this data. We're pivoting. Now we're building our own Majestic. And this is basically how Ahrefs came to be. Dmitro and Igor, our CTO, they started working together. They built an amazing product. And Dmitry thought, how should I call this company that I'm starting? Well, links.com was taken. So Dmitry, being an engineer, chose Ahrefs.com. As you may know, Ahref is HTML for a backlink. As you can tell, as Dmitry joking himself, he didn't have a marketing person back then to help him with some other brand names. So Ahrefs.com it is. Yeah, it's Ahref in HTML. 2011, website goes live. And the thing is, while Majestic, which Dmitry kind of copied the idea from, was updating their database every month, Ahrefs was updated every day. People immediately see the difference, and the product started growing. Like, it didn't take a lot of marketing for people to starting to use us and recommend us to their friends. But I remember that when I connected with Dmitry back in 2015, he sent me this Slack message of his kind of vision of the market, and he said that Ahrefs, in his opinion, had tech 5 out of 5, marketing 1 out of 5. So my job was to bring our marketing to 5, and I don't want to pat myself on the back too much, but I think it has worked pretty great. Great product, great marketing, and we took off. Since our company is headquartered in Singapore, we're actually moving to US, but that's another story. We were consistently hitting the list of Singapore's fastest growing companies. So the past 10 years were quite chill until, as you know, AI hit our industry. And AI is changing two things. It is changing how we search, and it's changing how we work. So I want to discuss this with you today, starting from how we search. I recently shared this screenshot on LinkedIn, like a crocodile screenshot of our Google Search Console data. It got a lot of traction because a lot of people were seeing the same thing in their Google Search Console. And Patrick has already talked a lot about this, so I won't dwell on this too much. Basically, a lot of people imply that it is ChatGPT that is beating Google. This is why our clicks are dropping, our traffic is dropping. That is not the case. Again, the study that everyone is referencing by Rand Fishkin, great study, Google is still going strong. ChatGPT is a lot smaller than Google. Another cool study that Rand Fishkin did with clickstream data is that they studied that the adoption of AI tools among Americans specifically is growing. As of today, 21% of Americans are active users. I think to qualify as an active user, you had to do like 10 queries on ChatGPT per day or something like that. Again, 21% are active users. But it is not at Google expense. Still, 86% of Americans are heavily using Google. So it's not ChatGPT who stole our clicks. It's AI overviews. Google itself is stealing traffic from us. And we did a great study at Ahrefs. Ryan Law did it together with our data science team. We crunched the numbers and we identified that the presence of AI overviews is dropping clicks by as much as 34%. That's quite a lot. But the thing is, Google themselves, they're quite happy about it. They're saying that AI overviews in search increase search users and increase user satisfaction. So what we can get from this is that AI overviews are here to stay. Quick plug, because we're at Ahrefs conference and I'm talking about Ahrefs. Prepare yourself for a lot of Ahrefs screenshots. We have AI overviews filters in both our Keyword Explorer and Site Explorer tools, because there are still a lot of keywords where Google is not displaying any AI overviews, and those keywords still have a lot of opportunity to get traffic. But overall, we've been seeing kind of an evolution of zero-click searches in the past decade. So it started from featured snippets and other SERP features that Google was displaying to give people something before they click. Then we had ChatGPT and Perplexity. Then Google answered with their own AI overviews. Now they're rolling out AI mode, and who knows what would happen in the future. But one thing is clear, there would be less search traffic going forward, because it seems that those systems are incentivized to keep people within themselves and not give traffic away anywhere. But at the same time, there are going to be more searches, because those systems allow people to do more things. Here's the thing, though. AI chatbots, because they want to keep users within their kind of walled garden, they won't send you much traffic. Again, Patrick referenced this fun website that we actually vibe coded, ChatGPT versus Google.com. It is based on, I think at this point, 70,000 websites which are connected to our free web analytics product. And we can see that, yeah, the traffic that ChatGPT is sending to websites is slowly growing, but as of right now, it accounts for just 0.24% of all referral traffic that websites get. Compare that to Google, which drives like 41.35%, so it's nowhere there. Yeah, AI chatbots won't send you much traffic, but they can recommend your brand and your products. So here at Ahrefs, we have self-attribution. Every time someone signs up for a free account or a paid account, we ask them, where did you hear about Ahrefs? And so far, we have over 30,000 people that mentioned ChatGPT when they were answering this question. And it's not just us who are noticing this. So the other day, I saw a tweet by Nathan Bezches. I'm butchering his last name probably, but bear with me. He said, increasingly, we have signups saying they found us through ChatGPT. Is anyone building Ahrefs for LLMs? I couldn't resist answering by Ahrefs is building Ahrefs for LLMs. So enter Brand Radar. This is Ahrefs for LLMs. Basically, it works the same way as Site Explorer. You put in a website, but in this case, you put in a brand, and we instantly show you the visibility of this brand in different AI chatbots. And you can compare a bunch of brands together, and you can see how their relative AI visibility compares. There's actually a fun game that Sam was playing with a bunch of attendees of this conference, where they had to pick the popularity of different things as seen is in AI overviews. So that would probably go on our TikTok and Instagram account later. If Sam asks you to participate in this thing, please participate. It is quite fun. So yeah, you can compare visibility of different brands instantly. So you don't need to come up with a list of prompts that you want to get data for. We have a massive database of prompts. I think for ChatGPT, it's over 10 million now, and we are growing it over time. So we give you a good snapshot. You don't have to wait. You can input any brand, any word, anything, we would give you a snapshot of how popular it is in AI search. You can also work with entities rather than brand, because some brands, they can be misspelled, or there are multiple ways you can write them out. For example, Crazy Egg, without space and with space, you get different results, but you can track it as an entity. And finally, the most important thing in optimizing for AI search is, of course, citations. Because, of course, there's training data where AI chatbots are pulling information from, but that training data has cut-off time, so you cannot really influence that because that was in the past. What you can influence is the websites where it is pulling fresh information from. It seems that in our industry, we are now calling this citations. And for any brand that you're researching in Brand Radar, you can get a list of citations where AI chatbots are pulling information from. And your job right now is kind of to do online reputation management. You have to work with these citations and make sure that information about your brand at these websites, at these pages, is accurate, up-to-date, ample, and all of that. So yeah, like I said, Brand Radar, it works like Ahrefs Site Explorer, so you don't need to give it a list of prompts you want to track. It already has a massive index of prompts, so for AI overviews, it's the biggest. For ChatGPT and others, it's around 10 million, but we're expanding it all the time. Custom prompts are coming, because I'm not saying that they are not useful. They're very useful, because Brand Radar works super well when you have a bigger brand. For smaller brands, of course, our database is not yet there, even though we're expanding it. It's not yet there to give you a lot of information about smaller brands. So in about a month or two, maybe, don't take my word for that, please, we're going to release custom prompts, and you'll be able to track anything you want in different chatbots. Overall, we're seeing that all marketing teams are obsessed with their AI visibility, giving the trajectory of it all. A lot of people are thinking that AI search is our future, so you want to start working on your AI visibility right now. And this is why all those metrics, how you show up, what's your AI visibility in different AI systems, AI chatbots, is now part of our Site Explorer, because we think that it is very important to not just know your traffic, keywords, backlinks, but also your AI visibility. But Brand Radar, it's not just AI visibility tool. Again, if you listen to all other speakers, SEO is starting to become more like marketing. You need to look into more different areas. So Brand Radar, right now it has AI visibility index, it has search demand index, it has web visibility index, and we're also adding YouTube and Reddit soon. Because for your brand, we want to give you kind of a 360 view of what's happening, because all those things are interconnected. Like Patrick said, it is all just marketing. You have to do a little bit of everything for AI systems to know about you and to pick you up. So that was how we search. Now, how does AI change our day-to-day work, what we actually do at work? So the first thing I want to make clear is that LLMs, because AI, there's different AI. There's predictive AI, and that's like a whole different thing. But LLMs are essentially text generation machines. So when marketers hear text generation machines, we're like, let's generate some text. Is it a good approach? Let's see. So if you know, I started Ahrefs podcast about a year ago, and I've been interviewing some interesting people. I actually, to be honest with you, I do this for myself because it's a good excuse to have someone I'm interested in and ask them all sorts of challenging questions where, like, if I just tell them, can I hop on a call with you and grill you with my questions and you get nothing in return, they would probably think I'm crazy. But then I'm saying, oh, like, it's for publicity. They suddenly open to do it. So I had Zach Harris. He used to work at copy.ai, kind of the epitome of creating content with AI, and he positioned himself as a huge advocate of creating AI-generated content. And I really wanted to dig into this. I wanted to understand how good of a content piece you can generate with AI. And right during this podcast interview, I came up with an idea of a challenge. So the challenge was that we're taking the transcript of the podcast that we recorded with Zach, and he is going to use AI without any human intervention to turn the transcript of our podcast with him into 2 articles. And I would use human neurons to do essentially the same thing. So I would hire a bunch of freelancers, not our in-house team. I didn't want to distract our amazing people to write articles based on our podcast interview. But that was basically the bet. We wanted to see who can produce better content. So then I asked Michelle, our podcast producer, to share those articles within our own team and have people vote which articles they thought were AI, which articles they thought were written by human beings. And as you can see, for one of the articles, people clearly saw that one of them is AI, and they were right. On another article, it was quite mixed. But the thing is, that was the wrong question to ask in the first place, because all 4 articles were shit. I'm not a native speaker, I'm Ukrainian, so I'm not sure if I can say the word shit from stage, but I already did it twice, so it's okay. So yeah, that's the wrong question to ask. It's not about AI or about the quality of content. Like, what is quality of content? Creating content is the wrong goal to start with. And our goal from this podcast interview, our bet was like, can we create content out of this podcast interview? That's the wrong goal. What is the right goal? It's to teach what you know. It's to share fresh ideas. It's to break big news, tell great stories, run bold experiments, study real data, make new discoveries. This is how you create amazing content. Your goal shouldn't be to ask someone, can we create more content? No. Do we have any cool stories we can tell people? Do we have any interesting data we can share with people? Do we have any experiments we can run? This is what we should be doing. So, when you have a goal to create content and you add AI, I'm not going to say this word again, but you see what happens. But when you have the right goal and you add AI, then you basically have magic. Because your content, you can improve your content. AI can help you push your content to the next level. Speaking of which, this is why we have AI Content Helper with Ahrefs. It doesn't let you generate content. So you cannot go and say, generate me content about this, and you'll have an article. This is not in our philosophy. This is not what we believe in as a company. But it helps you improve your content. How? It scores your content for a bunch of topics, so it breaks your piece of content into individual topics that are being covered, and it gives you score of the coverage of each individual topic and helps you understand the gaps. And what's quite convenient is that it actually has color coding. Because like Patrick said, you don't cover different subtopics of your piece of content in sequence. You can actually see like which part of your content are covering this topic and which parts of your content are covering that topic. It's very visual, it's very clear to see where you have potential gaps and what you can improve. Other than that, of course, we have kind of AI assistant within our AI Content Helper. This is just UI, because yeah, you can do stuff in ChatGPT. You can like put your article, your draft into ChatGPT and ask it to improve things. But also it's very convenient when you have UI made by people who know their stuff and who are actually using this ourselves. Recently, we added brand kits, which is a very cool feature which helps you to retain your tone of voice. And how it works, you actually give it a bunch of articles, you give it your website name, and it generates kind of like a system prompt with a lot of information, what it knows about you, and you can then go and edit it if you disagree with something it does. And then you can fine-tune it if you think when it helps you generate some paragraphs. If it is like a little off, you can go back to the system prompt and change it. And the most important thing is that our own content team is using AI Content Helper. I specifically messaged Ryan, and I said, like, actually, this was like more than half a year ago. I think we're using it even more as we add more features. But he said that it was super useful for help outline new posts, because you can just study your competitors, and it will give you a quick outline of what you should cover in your article, which can serve as a basis. And then it is very cool for updating existing content, because if your article is outdated, it can show you the gaps and you know what you should update. Yeah, the thing is, using AI to create content is no longer optional. Right now, it's table stakes. We actually studied how much content is created or assisted with AI. So what we did, this was in April 2025. We took about 1 billion pages that our web crawler so freshly created, and we ran these 1 billion pages through our AI content detector to see how many of them were pure AI, how many of them were pure human content, and where was the mix. And the mix can go anywhere from heavy AI usage to very little AI usage. And yeah, what's interesting, there's not that much pure AI content. Most of it is kind of AI assistant. So, the question is, how much AI is too much? How far can you scale it? Which content types are more forgiving to AI intervention? And where is AI detrimental? This is the main reason why we have AI content detector tool, which can scan any page, which actually already scanned a lot of pages of a lot of websites, and can show you not just that the page is using AI, but again, it can color code where exactly AI was used and which AI systems were used, because there's Llama, ChatGPT, Gemini, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, see where exactly AI was used in your content. And I was talking, I think it was, we had dinner with Joe the other day, and he said that it is so awesome that you can put any website into Ahrefs Site Explorer, go to top pages report, and see how much AI was used in creating those pages and how much traffic they get. Because this helps you answer those questions like, if I go overboard with AI, would it tank me or not? And you can analyze your competitors, and you can see how much AI they're using, and you can make your own decisions. What else Ahrefs is building for the new AI era in marketing? Well, we talked a lot about MCP servers, and a bunch of speakers already mentioned that we have MCP server for Ahrefs. This is the thing you can connect to AI chatbots like ChatGPT, Gemini, and you can ask it to do stuff with Ahrefs data. And there's a lot of connectors that you can pull data from Ahrefs. And Glenn Alsop, our recent awesome hire. Can I get a round of applause for that? Do you know Glenn Alsop? Yeah, I'm kind of pretty proud of getting Glenn Alsop to come work at Ahrefs. So yeah, literally yesterday, it was Monday, right? He published an article with 15 Ahrefs MCP use cases. So if you're new to this article gives you quite a nice overview of how you can use Ahrefs data in your AI chatbots. The next thing, which is quite interesting, we haven't released it yet. Internally, we're calling it Ahrefs Labs. Basically what it is, since I joined Ahrefs, for quite a few years, I was asking our founder, Dmitry, can you give us, marketers, our own developer, so that we wouldn't need to ask the product team to build something for us, so that we would have our own little kind of research and development department, R&D department for marketers. And now, with the advent of vibe coding, where kind of prototyping something becomes super fast, Dmitry himself said, guys, this is what you should be doing now. I'm giving you even a couple developers, and you're going to work on something called Ahrefs Labs. Whatever processes you have in your marketing department that are repeatable processes that you think can be automated with Ahrefs data, with AI, you have to build them within Ahrefs Labs. We will release it to our customers. We'll see how it goes, and then if it picks up speed, we'll continue developing it. So the first project that we're working on under Ahrefs Labs is we're automating our own monthly blog report. So because we have fairly sizable content team, I think it's 5 people who are contributing to our blog, if we're not counting people who also work on the product. And Ryan, every month, he has to create a monthly report with everyone's performance. And it's not just for me kind of like as a CMO, like Ryan showed me the report of the blog. It's for everyone to understand how they're doing, what's their output, how is their content helping the company to grow, and all that. And Ryan, of course, being quite a smart guy, he also took a Python course, he created some scripts to automate his reporting, but then we thought not every content lead at every company is going to do this, so we need to build this for people. And yeah, this is just the first project. We have a lot of ideas in our marketing department. Now that we have Glenn, we have like overwhelming amount of ideas of what we can do, and we'll be shipping them in Ahrefs Labs. So this is something to watch out for, to look out for. Sorry for my English. One last thing. You get the vibe of Steve Jobs, right? Free web analytics. I mentioned it quite a few times. This is actually a real screenshot of the Ahrefs Evolve website. This is how we were promoting our event and generating traffic. But yeah, we're big users of our own products. I'm personally loving our free web analytics. It's free for websites with verified ownership. It's privacy friendly, zero complexity. And since the time we launched it, I think at the beginning of the year, I actually wrote a LinkedIn post listing some of the most important features that we added. Things like custom events, funnels, GSC integration, cloned pages report, possible 404 report, which Patrick talked about recently, filter presets, and that's not even all of them. So we're shipping updates to this product like crazy, and this is free. We're using it ourselves. So if you need a simple analytics solution, make sure to sign up. Yeah, so far we have over 100,000 installs in about 10 months since we launched it. Two last thing. I told you I'm Ukrainian, my English is a little bit off, but I promise there would be no three last thing. That's it. Social media manager. We launched the social media manager. It's pretty rudimentary right now, so it has like just the basic features. You can schedule posts to go out at a few different social networks. The next thing is coming is that we're going to start giving you some interesting analytics about the performance of your posts, about like who on your team posted that, what's the output. Again, this is something we need internally because as you might have noticed, I'm quite active on LinkedIn, Twitter. We have other team members, Ryan, Patrick. We have our branded accounts, Ahrefs on X, Ahrefs on LinkedIn. So we're outputting quite a lot of content, and we need this tool for our own team, and we want to build some reporting for ourselves and some tools that would be helpful for us. This is how a lot of products in Ahrefs come to be because our own marketing department needs this. But when I announced that we're releasing Social Media Manager on Twitter, someone by the name Dan said, interesting pivot. Is the SEO market contracting? Is Dan in the room by any chance? Dan? No, Dan. No, I don't think SEO market is contracting. I think SEO market is expanding. Because like Patrick said, and like many other speakers today and tomorrow are going to tell you, SEO is becoming more like marketing. So at first we just cared about Google, maybe Bing, maybe DuckDuckGo. Then we thought, how do we get our content on YouTube? How do we get on Google Maps? How do we show up on Reddit? Now we care about social networks because there's a lot of attention. Marketers are hunting for attention. And there's a lot of attention on social networks. So can people find you on social networks? And now we're also adding AI chatbots. Like I said, Google isn't really losing market share, but AI chatbots is yet one more thing where you can show up. So the SEO market is actually expanding, which is good for every one of us in this room. Thank you. And Ahrefs is not pivoting anywhere. We're just building tools to make your business discoverable everywhere. And so you might have noticed that on our homepage, we changed our tagline. Now it says, make your business discoverable in search, AI, and beyond. This is it from me. I hope you enjoyed it. I also need to make a selfie with you guys. Can we light up the room a little bit? Okay, can you raise your hands, maybe like you enjoyed my talk? Awesome, thank you guys.